The era of cable ships began with the advent of telecommunication. Cable ships were designed and purpose-built as far back as 120 years ago for submarine cable installations and maintenance. At first, they were owned by telecom administrations or telegraph companies, and that's pretty much how Baltic Offshore began as well. Eventually, however, these owners were privatized, and as businesses were streamlined, the sea cable units were sold off. At the beginning of the new millennium, Baltic Offshore was formed as a private company, with its former leaders as shareholders. That's why there's always been a deep understanding of the work from the very first day. As technologies for installation and maintenance have been refined, the business has substantially developed. And today, Baltic Offshore is able to lay and install from one single cable up to 4 bundled cables simultaneously with extreme accuracy. It's spring 2013, and the Baltic offshore vessel CS Plejel is located off the coast of the Swedish island of Öland. Although CS Plejel is a technically advanced vessel, Baltic Offshore is still planning future upgrades. In 2015, CS Plejel will be completely rebuilt. It will be longer, able to transport more cable, and even more technically advanced to handle future demands. But for now, on this beautiful spring day in 2013, the CS Plejel is ready for a unique project.
Det som ska hända är att vi ska förbinda 16 stycken vindkraftverk med varandra med kabel, och ifrån de här vindkraftverken in till land med 2 stycken kablar.
The sea conditions outside of Öland are quite special. The waters are extremely shallow, forcing CS Plejel to stay far from the coast. This means that the cable has to be transported for a long distance on the surface before being dropped to the bottom of the sea. But shallow waters are not the only challenge this time. Ground surveys have shown that the sea bottom is very tough, making it difficult to bury the cable properly.
Man behövde specialmaskiner, och de maskiner som man eventuellt kunde ta hand om de här bottensedimenten med var inte så grundgående, så de flyter inte. Och då fick jag en ljus idé och så sa jag, men på land så fräser man ju kalksten. Varför inte göra en sån sjögående? Alltså att man fräser under vatten.
Baltic Offshore's ability to come up with new solutions is what makes the company unique. We'll return to Öland and the wind power park in a bit, but first, let's visit Karlskrona. We're watching the loading of submarine cable for an Iceland assignment. Once a submarine cable is installed, there's always the issue of maintenance and troubleshooting. Overhaul and repair were the main reasons for telecommunications companies during the latter part of the 20th century to acquire submarine cable vessels. However, they were a rather expensive and inconvenient solution. Today, these have been replaced by what is commonly called service agreements. Baltic Offshore offers their clients service agreements that include storage of spare cable in a corrosion-free environment that is dry, dark, and tempered. In the case of a cable fault, Baltic Offshore can guarantee a cable vessel will be called out on short notice. The CS Plejel is one of the world's most technologically advanced cable vessels. For example, it has a highly sophisticated method for cable output, enabling it to work with up to 4 cables simultaneously. Because of its high quality level and service, Baltic Offshore is trusted with some of the industry's most advanced cable installations. In collaboration with ABB, Baltic Offshore is getting ready to install a power cable from the Icelandic mainland to the Westman Islands, a project that will ensure a safer, more constant power transmission to the islanders. But weather conditions on Iceland make work difficult.
Vi behöver egentligen 3 dagars bra väder. Det är svårt att hitta överhuvudtaget. Det finns egentligen bara 1-2 månader här som det är möjligt.
Should the weather change during cable installation and conditions become critical, the cable might have to be cut and the vessel returned to shore until work can continue. This is a scenario Baltic Offshore wants to avoid at all costs, so the company has taken certain precautions.
Vi förlitar oss på den moderna tekniken. Vi kommer dessutom att ha en meteorolog ombord och innan vi börjar som kommer att tala om förutsättningarna och att det finns en möjlighet. Och vi får de här 3 dagarna med marginal förstås, för det kan alltid hända någonting på resan.
In order to make cable installations as accurate as possible, the CS Pleo is equipped with dynamic positioning, an extremely precise positioning system.
Vi har fått tillsänt oss en survey. Alltså en survey, det är en bottenundersökning där man har undersökt och studerat botten var kabeln kommer att hamna bäst. Vi för in det här i våra egna navigationsdatorer, vilket gör att vi kan då förprogrammera en rutt där vi vill förlägga kabeln. Den har en precision med 3 cm noggrannhet.
Back to Öland. A shallow, tough sea bottom is making cable installation for the new wind power park extremely difficult. But Thomas has an idea to rebuild a soil cutter made for land use into a machine that can dig a ditch on the bottom of the sea.
Så den här maskinen konstruerades, producerades under 4 månader. Så det var väl väldigt speciellt och det finns bara den i världen.
Driven by a vision to be equipped for the future, Baltic Offshore is constantly investing in new technologies that allow them to offer innovative and unique solutions.
För varje år som går så får vi nya kunder, vilket gör att bredden ökar sig. För alla kunder har olika önskemål, olika krav. Vårt företag gillar att göra kunden nöjd. Det är vårt huvudmål. För om vi har en nöjd kund så kommer de tillbaka.